Hello, welcome back to our episode 2 of Basically Talking. Today, before you ever start anything, I was trying to upload another video, another podcast or vlog, whatever that is, but I accidentally deleted it on my edit app, so it did not really turn out the way that I expected to, which is very sad. But anyways, I'm here to do another podcast, and as you can see, the title is my thoughts on sexuality. And right now I'm going to show you some of the very cute things that I got recently. A day ago I got this cute Snoopy mug. It's so cute. It has the Snoopy word here, and you can't believe that it's a color changing one. And the reason I'm using this mug is because my mic is broken. It actually just broke down, and I bought another wired earphones because my old one isn't working. I don't know, everything is broken down these days. But anyways, so I got this cute mug, and its sunglasses is color changing, and the word here is color changing as well. So the thing is, from my last episode, which is also my very first episode of this whole Basically Talking podcast, I wasn't drinking anything while talking. I talked straight 90 minutes and cut it out about 42 minutes, I think. Well, that was very tough for me, and I was editing it, and I thought that my throat was dry the whole time, and I did not even drink water, not a drop of it. And so I was just thinking, maybe the next time I'm doing a podcast, I need at least a beverage right next to me. And so we got this whole pot of black tea that I made out of tea bags, which is, I don't know how to make black tea from scratch. But anyways, so I have this, and it's a whole pot of hot black tea. I poured hot water in it, but I don't think it's that hot right now because I've had it set for 20 minutes. And so I'm just going to let you see how this color changing thing works before I ever start this video. So I'm pouring this thing in it. ASMR. Okay, I actually don't know. Oh, fun fact, I'm on my bed right now. As you can see, this cute pillow and this star blanket and the whole cozy vibe because I did a room makeover. And I don't know if it's working though. Is it? Also, the clothes is color changing as well. We're just going to wait and then we'll start the topic right now. So I don't think it's color changing though. It's probably not that hot anymore, but the words will turn into purple, the color purple, if it's working or stuff. I'm just going to take a sip before we started. Okay, so very back to our topic, and I feel like I shouldn't talk with this mic holding like this because it's going to be it's going to have some noise, but I don't know how to deal with this right now. Should I just put it in my ear? Okay, so reason that I'm thinking about talking about this kind of sensitive topic to someone, I don't know, some people don't like to talk about sexuality, and I recently just found out, oh, that's me. Exactly. I have been thinking about sexuality and also my labels to represent who I am and what kind of people I love, or whatever gender that I love. I've always been talking about this topic, no matter to my friends. I've never actually talked about this to my family. My mom, she is so homophobic. I know this is not morally right. I mean, a lot of people is homophobic, and it happens to be on my mom one of them. But anyways, I used to thought that I'm bisexual, or from the very first start back to when I was born, and then I entered kindergarten, elementary, what am I talking? I entered kindergarten, elementary, middle school, which is where all the things changed. I have this kind of awareness since, I think, from a very young age, other than other people. A lot of people might start to notice they are, I think average in middle school. Probably they are one of the LGBTQ community, and yeah, that's very a thing. I don't think that's ever a phase or you start to doubt you like the same gender as yours. But I had that by the end of elementary, which is I've never actually spilled this to anyone before, or maybe I did, but they aren't really like my close friends anymore. I don't know, maybe. But like, I had this because I've always been a girl's girl. I've never really had guy friends throughout my education years, and I've never really talked to guys. It's like when I was like really young, about like probably elementary, by the beginning of it, and then I started to just, stop talking to different guys because I was parasocial and I don't want to do that. That is not my thing, to be casually just functioning when it comes to socialing. I mean, I've never really don't like girls in romantic ways. I know clearly when I see a pretty girl that I found attractive, I would have a little bit heart flipped. I know what I was feeling. I wasn't really in fact knowing that what exactly I feel and what exactly about sexuality, gender stuff, that which is not really an I don't know, I'm not old, but it really wasn't an open topic that time when we were like young, about like 5 or 6. I genuinely think that people has kind of like just developed. That is a bit mean, or like, I don't know if it's mean, but I think that is what happened. But anyway, so I had this thought since elementary. I think by graduation when I was like 5 or 6th grade, and I just know that I probably like girls, and it's not a problem for me because I don't know, I've always been open-minded, but my parents in contrast weren't. My dad, I've never actually talked about this with him. Like, I've never actually been that close to him. I don't really like my dad, if it's necessarily to say, but anyways, I've actually tried to talk about this to my mom because I've always been a feminist girl, and I mean, everyone should be a feminist, and I was very aware of those kind of topics. And it's not about really like liking girls romantically or trying to date a girl stuff. I was just talking like just purely about female health, female exploitation, and female rights stuff, like, which is, we wanted to be equal. And because my mom was actually the only one that I want to like convey those kind of thoughts, because I have not really much friends back then, and I just don't really. I talked about this with my friends in middle school because we were in dorms, we were boarding school, and we kind of just talked about this a lot, and I tried to like make my mom agree with what I'm talking about, and she immediately thought, you like girls. And she's always been like this, so now it's still like that. She's always like, if my daughter tells me that she wants to date a girl or she likes girl one day, I'ma kill myself, or I'ma kick her out of this house, like, you're not my daughter anymore. And no, she wouldn't kill herself, I'm just kidding. I used to fight this thought back to her. I'll like fight everything with her, like we argue about those kind of thoughts, because I think that's genuinely nothing to do with who you like. I like a really good person, but she's a girl. Do you think that's a red flag or stuff? It's just nothing to do with gender. And so basically I just kind of like always argue with her. I always say, like, I stand on my own feet. I was like, no, why are you doing that? Because girls can like girls and boys can like boys. It's not even disgusting. And why are you talking about that? Are you homophobic? And you are. And I tried to make her believe that kind of fact because I love to argue. I love debating. That's just bad habit. But I love that. But my mom just, kept on arguing like that. But in fact, I wasn't affected. I'm still very open-minded on stuff like this. I mean, I think from I supported that day one, I can never like stop doing this, because I don't think that's anything to do with that. That's not anything wrong though. So I just genuinely don't like to support that kind of thought. But now, whenever she said that, I just stopped talking to her, because I know that it's genuinely just nothing to do but another argument. And she kind of gave up on talking about that to me as well, because she just purely think I'm probably lesbian. And that's basically what I'm talking about. I've never labeled myself as a lesbian. I'm not a lesbian, and I know that. I know I like guys and girls, and I can do that. I can see myself marrying a guy, I can see myself kissing a girl, I can see myself having a wife, having a man. But before any of that, I don't really want to label myself as bisexual either. which is very cool. I have those 3 heart flags here. This one's the bisexual flag, this one's the unlabeled flag, which is a lot of people replied to. I posted this on my story and a lot of my friends replied, what is the flag in the middle? And I was like, oh, this is the unlabeled flag. If you don't want to be unlabeled, have it. And this one's just pure lesbian one. I know there might be thoughts in your mind thinking, Austin, you just said you don't want to be labeled, but what are you putting those flags on your walls? And I can give you an answer. I love those flags, and I think that it's very okay to put out what you think you are. You don't have to be only defined in one ways. You can be defined in multiple ways, multiple form. And I like to put myself in a frame of I like both genders, but I prefer girls more. And also, I don't want to be unlabeled. Oh, I don't want to be labeled. So that is the reason that I put 3 of the flags on it. And also, it's aesthetic. Don't you dare say it's not. And recently, mid-June, we were having a prom, and I don't know if those girls are watching this, but we were like talking about my sexuality, because we have like a small post-prom like gathering, just girls night, and we have like a small place, and we were all like chit-chatting, and then we were having a really good time. At least I was having a good time. That is so good. I love girlhood. And we were like, there were like 10 of us, 10 girls, including one of my close friends with me. We went there together because I'm really parasocial and I don't want to like go there alone. So I went there, and we were like kind of like talking and introducing ourselves, because we only like talked online. And then we came into that situation that we started to like, I don't know what it started, probably me, but I don't think I'm the one who started this first. I'm bisexual, so I thought I was bisexual at that time, and I think in majority I still am, because I know that I like both genders and I'm not asexual. And so yeah, we came up with a topic and kind of like just starting to find out who I really am, or what kind of label that I really am. And I kind of just went into that kind of, I don't know, when they were like talking about you could be a lesbian, you are bisexual, but to me, there's something in my mind, I know that something's wrong. I am neither bisexual nor lesbian or straight. I genuinely don't think I'm just pure straight. I don't know, I don't really care about guys that much. And I thought really deep those days. I was just thinking, like contemplating what actually I am. Should I label myself with something or what? And I came up with a conclusion. I think that I have like really high standards for both genders, and it's basically the same in both genders. Just, I like gentle people, I like people who show their love stuff, and I like respectful, polite people. I like smart people. I like people who have really good taste and stuff. I have just really, really pure high standards, and I'm trying to match myself with those standards as well. And so that leads to a fact that with that standards, I like both genders. I'm attracted to both genders. With that standards of mine, I find female more fitting into that standards, and with that standards of mine on them, I could find more girls with my standards, but probably 1 or 2 guys with mine, or probably none. So that's probably why I told people that I am more attracted to girls, even though I'm bisexual, because I know that I'm attracted to both guys and girls. And also another way that I used to like convince myself that I'm bisexual is also because I know that I might never fall in love with someone, which is cool. No, it's not. Being single is nice, but I once like told my friends I want to be married by 25. Okay, don't judge. Okay, that was a bit off topic. So what I was saying, I was actually trying to convince myself while I like both guys and girls, and that I am bisexual, because I liked, it's a past tense, I have crushes on both guys and girls. So that leads to kind of a thought that I know I've had feelings for guys, and I had feelings for girls as well. So I like both genders. That's how I calculate it. It's quite weird, and some of you might not agree, but that's just how I did convince myself that I'm bisexual. And it's not even that bad, but that's just how I thought when I try to like convince people. I don't think I'm fully like just how bisexual really works, and I don't think I'm lesbian as well, which is very weird. And I just came up with the thought, I don't want to be labeled. And I started to like start this thing up, like people experiencing they don't want to be labeled. And I know that Conan Gray doesn't want to be labeled. I know that he talked about this in interviews. I'm a huge fan of his. Anyways, he's just one of the celebrities and singer-songwriter that came into mind when I talk about this. Actually, I do have his some like Polaroid kind stuff here, like 2 of that I bought. I went to his concert, like not trying to brag, but that was very good. Super 8 concert, oh my gosh. I want to be unlabeled. I want people to like kind of like don't see me as any kind of sexuality. And that is very hard because I was telling people, as I said, I was telling like people I met or people, my close friends, or just anyone I could have come out to, and I just tell them that I like both guys and girls, and I'm more attracted to girls. But then my real explanation is that I was just more attracted to girls. It's not that I like girls more, it is that the quantity of girls fitting in my standards is more than the guys that do. And I don't see a problem in this kind of calculation theory. I just don't really know how to like come up with that to people. I know that it's hard to like kind of like refresh your own personality. People might think she's a bisexual that way, this way, that way. Anyways, when I'm trying to discovering my own sexuality, something about myself, my zodiac sign, I know a lot of people do that. Just don't lie, you do. I'm not the only one, right? Like I try to like search my stuff online, asking Google, asking Gemini, like whether I'm like something about me, what caused that, and I try to like discover. I want to figure out something myself. I want to know what caused this problem to me, why this happened, and any people that possibly have the same thing as mine. And yes, a lot of people has experienced this, and I think mostly a lot of people just was a part of. They are. It's so hard using the past tense. Okay, I would take past tense. They were a part of LGBTQ community first, but then they found out they don't want to be labeled. They aren't out of the community, but they are just not really like labeled as one of them, like lesbian, gay, anything. They are queer, they would say. I don't know. I would call myself a queer because I am just not straight. I am in that LGBTQ community. I'm just going to share a really fun fact. I don't know if anyone has felt this before. I've searched it on TikTok and I surprisingly found someone who has the same issue with me. Is that I used to call myself a bisexual, and right now I probably still would if people ask that about me. But when I was so sure, like probably a year ago, I think till now it still is, because when I was like so sure, when I was so sure that I'm bisexual, kind of went into a fear that I'm afraid if I date guys, I am afraid that I've never been in love. I'm afraid that my first relationship, or probably intended to one, is a guy. And I figured out the fear of that, which is very weird because my friends were all like, I kind of just went out, like spilled this out to one of my 2 friends, and they were like very, I don't know, they were like really not cool about that. They were just like, why would you be scared if you're dating a man? And I told them, I said, I am scared of dating a man because I think if I told people that I'm bisexual, I must have to like girls because I have feelings for both genders. And if I fell in love with a guy, if I started to date a guy, they might think, aren't you part of LGBTQ community and you're dating a guy, so you're straight? this is something about labels again, and I am not straight. I just coincidentally fell in love with a guy. And that does not define anything. I just love the person. It's nothing to do with the gender. And I just kind of like have this fear for a really long time. I still have it now. I am really afraid that someday I really just fall in love with a guy. And it doesn't really matter his gender. Like, to be honest, if it's a girl and I'm super like everything's right, then we could just start dating. But when it's a guy, I just have the fear to be talked about that. I still do care about people, and I care about their comments on me, how they think and they label on me. Just stuff like you're straight. And I don't think being straight is something bad, but it's just a fear that you're going to be kicked out of the LGBTQ community, and I don't like that kind of feeling that people are labeling you more than you do to yourself because you don't want to be labeled. So that's what has been into my mind, which is for a really long time I've never really liked to talked about my interest in men, and also I don't really have that much like men that I found genuinely attractive, mostly fictional ones, because real life ones, they have their life, and I really do appreciate that. I love and I love watching people fall in love. Also, I have a thing that has made me feel uncomfortable, like really genuinely pure uncomfortably horrible. Like, I don't like this thing. There's a friend of mine, I wouldn't say who she is because she is like constantly with me. I don't hate her personality, but about things that she's done to me is something that I should consider being close friends with her. And yes, she's a girl. Whatever. I just said that I don't have that much guy friends. I mean, probably not even one that I would consider friends. I don't know. Okay, whatever. So about that girl, what she's done to me, it's not actually something bad, but she is totally straight. Like, seriously, she is straight and she loves guys. I'm not saying that she's a pick me, but she loves guys, and she knows that. And I do not see myself with only dating girls, but she knows I am bisexual, and she started to call me gay, which is, I don't like the fact that I am just labeled as that, and she will tell others that I'm gay as well. And also guys that she is talking to. And probably that guy knows me, and I feel uncomfortable with that. Like, extremely uncomfortable. Like, seriously, I don't like the feeling of that. Because I just feel like that I'm misunderstood, and she's not even misunderstanding me. She knows that I like both genders, but she just tells others that I'm pure gay. Or it should be lesbian, but she said gay. And I really don't like this. I've never really, argued on this one with her, because why would I? I'm a good friend. I'm a good friend in general, and I've talked about this to her. I've actually mentioned it several times that I do not like to be called gay, and I don't actually define myself with only liking girls as well. And here comes that she just ignored the fact, and she kept doing this. I don't like that. I would actually take this seriously as slandering, and I do not like being treated this way. And she's still one of my friends, so I just purely don't like the fact that you're labeling things that aren't me. I think labeling in your mind is fine, because that's just, people think about you in different ways. You can't change everyone's labels on you. You can't do that, and you can never. But the thing that she's doing is not only just labeling myself as things that I'm not, and also just telling others and making them label this gay label on me. And I do not like the fact that this is happening. And I couldn't stop her. She has free will, but this is the wrong way of using it, and it's making your friend really uncomfortable. I mean, I've never actually feel like that friendship was reciprocated, but anyways. So yeah, that's basically just one of the fun story that has happened on me, and it's still happening because I haven't broke up with that friend. But yeah, I really don't like it. I am not an emotional person. If you know me really well, I don't really cry. the last time I cry is on my birthday. That has a huge, like, a long story to deal with that. So I might as well just talk about that probably when we started to mention about this topic. Or if you're like interested in what happened on my birthday, I can talk about that. I'm open. But like, I genuinely, the very first time that I know, she started to tell her guy friends that I'm gay, and I cried so hard. I not like very hard, but I do sob that night in this bed. I just, oh my gosh, my phone. I just couldn't take that because I know that why are you trying to pull stuff that aren't about me on me? And that is just, I don't know, it's just not comfortable. And I just couldn't find a word to like say, to like describe this feeling. It's just so uncomfortable. End of discussion. It's just so uncomfortable. So I don't think she's watching this, but if you're watching this, please change. I really don't like that. And also, one of the reasons that I do not really like to be labeled, after I contemplated about the whole thing, how it worked, I genuinely just don't think that I should be. Like, I don't think anyone should be really like labeled unless you're like really so sure you wouldn't ever change, or you're just so sure that that is the way you are. Because I think being labeled is also in another form that you have to share the responsibility of what you're labeled with. Like, if you're labeled as some, okay, this is nothing to do with genders, but if you're labeled as a really good looking guy, a really good looking girl, you're just labeled as good looking, this word. It's just going to be harder for you to remain what you look like, to maintain your looks, your appearance. You started to have to care about that because you know that people are labeling you as a good looking person. So you have to keep that label on, so you have to like start putting efforts in how you look. That is an example that came into mind, which is the same as in sexuality. You are labeled as straight. You are a straight person. People think of you straight. You don't ever think that you're gay or lesbian. You don't ever feel like you like same gender people romantically. You have to keep that up. Let's take me as an example. Maybe I'm a girl. Just imagine I'm a girl who's always been straight. I tell people I'm straight. I know I'm straight. I've never had feelings for girls. But then I saw that I know that one girl, and I started to like fall in love with her romantically, like crazily insane, and she likes me back too. And that time my label had to switch. But then people would think, like, all of the people that I met knows that I'm straight, not as I'm a lesbian, or not even putting me in a frame that I like girls, me dating a girl stuff. That is very tough for you to fight for, and that's what I'm talking about right now, because people are putting too much label on you. You couldn't just change every of them. And I do believe that people, like human us, we are very changeable. We are just easily affected, and there's no way that we could always just stay the same through our whole life. You're either a jerk or a really good person if you do that. So I'm taking a hydration break right now, and this tea is gone cold. My tea's gone cold, I'm wondering why. Got out, I figured it out. Love Stan. Okay, so I eventually decided to put this wired headphone on my ear because it's just better. It's just easier for me to just talk instead of like holding the mic, even though I don't really think that that's annoying, but anyways. And I just checked the camera. I look so chopped today. I think it's about lighting. Maybe I should like turn it. I don't know. How do you think about this whole set? I even set a tiny like breakfast table on here because I had this, I don't know, I forgot from where. I just had this since middle school. I've never used this before, and I just thought, oh, why not just do like this kind of like talkie on my bed. And yeah, it's actually very cold in here, and so I'm having this blanket. Oh gosh. Better now. You probably think that you're a better now. Okay, I got into that too much. Just get me some break and I'll talk about more like later because I'm kind of like getting into like I couldn't get more comfortable in bed and I might as well just fell asleep. See you later. Okay, so I'm so back. I was laying on my bed as you can tell. I'm back, okay. Let's just keep talking about this unlabeled sexuality thing. And yeah, I kind of came up with some kind of thoughts, which is I don't know if anyone has think about this yet, but you might wonder, and I wonder about that too, is unlabeled another label on us? I do think that it still is, because you can never just don't put label on people that you met. You could never like see people without label, and that is so true because you probably put label about people. That's how you remember them, about their appearance, how they look, or how they personally are. That's all about your personal thoughts, and that's about how you remember those kind of people. Because if you don't put labels on them, you wouldn't know who they are, you wouldn't know what they're like, and you starting to forget them. It's not a bad thing putting a label, but I think when it comes to sexuality, it's just not a good thing to put labels. Like if some people like me as well, I talked about that friend that who called me gay in multiple ways, which is that I don't like that. That is not the right way that you put label. But I do think that some of the labels that is environmentally kind is good, but mostly about sexuality, about this aspect. A lot of people has said that bisexual people are just confused. They don't even know that they what they like. You have to pick one. Like no, that is purely not. And so as unlabeled people, like us unlabeled people, we don't want to be labeled, but we are not like confused. It's just we got standards and we got probably people we love. It doesn't really matter with the gender, and I don't have to define myself as something. I don't have to label myself, and I just be with whoever I feel like I'm comfortable with. I just be with whoever I love, like, or whoever I just feel like it. And no one can actually tell us what we are, not even ourselves. So that's the main thing of being unlabeled. And I think that being unlabeled is not just, also not just a phase. That basically, I just think the whole label thing is just about the semantic security and how we talk, think, like, see people as what, and see ourselves as what. And I genuinely think that most of the days, like, people discover LGBTQ community, and it's not just only about LGBTQ, those five things. It includes a lot of different sexuality or like gender sexuality stuff. And yeah, I do agree and respect every aspect of that. We humans are all different and we have our very own special individual. We have never actually think the same, and this will cause the development of sexuality or thoughts or identity styles, and we'll develop into lots of different kinds, different forms of that, and that's cool. That's like really cool because in the past no one would ever think of more than just those three, or probably in the past, like very ancient past, only about they only had thoughts about LGBTQ, about girls liking girls and boys liking boys, but there are just so many possibilities and so many undiscovered that the development about our feelings or our sexuality, our thoughts on those things. And I think one of the reasons that we are forced into labels are actually just, I think, like personally, I think it's mostly to do with social media like TikTok, Instagrams, or any platforms that talked about this, Twitter, which is we call X right now. A lot of things could do with that, like a lot of things, not only about sexuality, but also about like a lot of mindset, which is what I'm doing now. It's included. It's personal opinion. I think social media did something to like make us feel like we should be someone, or you have to at least be something for people to recognize you, to remember, oh, this girl, she is bisexual, she is lesbian, she she is asexual stuff, or other than sexuality, just pure things about person, characters. They try to make you find something that labels you, and about like something that shows your personality, something that strikes something in. People would mark you or label you as whatever they think that you are. First impressions, stuff, algorithm, it's all that's affecting you and your sexuality. You think that I have to be something, because if I'm not something, then what am I? We don't really know what are we by the end of the day. We just know those kind of things are created by human, and you don't have to force yourself into labels if you don't exactly feel like you are the definition of it. There's a lot of things, like a bunch of things that I want to talk about label, because I know that every label has definition, like there is a definition of it, and you can like search it up. Everything just has an original definition of it. I just sometimes think when people are using words, I would ask them. I like to ask that when I'm debating, because I would want to prove them wrong. I would want to tell them, are you sure that you're talking about this? Because this word is about blah blah blah, and it's actually, especially when I'm like trying to argue with people who fight against feminists like radically, and I don't like that. But anyways, I'm a bit off topic about this. But today we like talking about sexuality. So if you want me to like make a second part about me talking just about label, I would love to talk about my thoughts on the label of pick me girls, because I have a strong like opinion on that. Or maybe I can just talk about this right now. What are we doing? I have a lot other than just those that I put out right now. Maybe I'll just talk about pick me right now. So about that pick me girl stuff, mostly pick me girls, or like just pick me, because no one would say pick me guys. No, right? I do know how this subject came out. It's from, I think mostly guys who invented this, from like, they tried to like mock. My personal opinion, it's so wrong and it's so unreasonable to call girls pick me when they're just trying in their way to like attract guys or like attract people they want. Why are you calling a girl who's just trying, using their own way, using the way that they know probably would work, trying to make you like her, while you prove her wrong and making fun of all she's done? A lot of people might call one another pick me, and those pick me might be really annoying and might be using the wrong way to seek attention, but that's just problematic. You don't have to like put a label on that. And nowadays people don't even know what pick me girls, what its original definition is. They started to call girls that are just slightly extrovert or trying to be bold just pick me, because they think that they're seeking attention stuff. I don't like that. I just genuinely think that you can at least just ignore that. You can just dislike her. But why you doing? They're just human as you. And don't ever say that you never done anything stupid. Yeah, basically. And my lips are getting dry, so I'm taking a sip right now. So that's basically my thoughts on labeling and about how it's associated to sexuality. I mean, this clip might be very, very short because I don't feel like talking too long today. I might make a part 2 if you want. Like, you can comment down your thoughts on being labeled, or your experience on being labeled, or how do you discover you don't want to be labeled, stuff. And yeah, happy Pride Month. I love talking about sexuality, but also I recently just discovered I don't want to be labeled. I'm a part of the Unlabeled community. Oh shit. I'm wait, okay. I'm not trying to be violent, but I almost cracked this breakfast table. Okay. Whatever. I think I'm just here to like talk about that I'm officially a part of the Unlabeled community. And this is obviously just another label on me as well, which is, I know that, but whatever, just don't think of me in any sort of way that you think about sexuality. And I think a lot of people deserve this respect. No matter if you're like in the process of discovering what you are or like trying to put yourself in labels, I respect that. But just don't ever put yourself into things that doesn't make you feel comfortable, as I don't feel comfortable being called gay. So yeah, I have some certain thoughts in my mind about the next episode, and I might do this like recently because I've been super stimulated these days. I have bipolar and I'm currently in a manic episode, which is kind of like triggering me to do everything, do song covers, do like, I don't know, live and do podcasts, edit everything, post everything, and trying to like, but I'm like trying to keep my life private, just a bit chit chatting here. So yeah, if you're I don't know, like this episode of podcast, follow me on Spotify, YouTube, or Instagram, or TikTok, or what kind of platform that I still have. Yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, goodbye.